Okay, guys, we are back to finish lesson one of science. Remember, we're talking about energy and the different forms that it can take. And we've already talked about some of those different forms thermal, electrical, solar. We've talked about sound energy, potential energy, and kinetic energy. All right, so today we're going to be talking about energy in motion and a couple of the different forms of potential energy that there is as well. All moving things have kinetic energy. Remember, kinetic energy is the energy of movement. The amount of kinetic energy depends on the speed and mass, or how much the object weighs. If you look at this photo over here of the boy tossing an orange, right here, the harder he throws that orange, the more kinetic energy he has. And also the higher it's going to go, right? An object with a greater mass would also have more kinetic energy. So something that is heavier also has more kinetic energy. When the boy throws the orange, he gives it kinetic energy. As it rises, it starts to slow down, right? It's not just going to keep going up forever and ever and ever. Its kinetic energy is gradually or slowly converted to potential energy. As the orange falls, the potential energy is converted back to kinetic energy. So right here, we've got potential energy. And then as we move on to this picture at B, it's got kinetic energy. Up here at C, where it's stopped moving, it's kind of reached its maximum height. We've also got maximum potential or stored energy here, because that energy is now stored because it's going to need it to come back down. And then D right here, it has changed from potential energy or stored energy back into kinetic energy, or that movement energy. Forms of potential energy. There are different forms of potential energy. Some of those forms have to do with the object's position. Other forms have to do with the object's makeup. When people say something produces energy, they mean that the energy is converted or changed from potential energy to a useful form. So it goes from something stored to something you can use. Gravitational. A raised object has what is called gravitational potential energy. The orange the boy is throwing has this kind of potential energy. The higher or heavier an object is, the more gravitational potential energy it has, which means that gravity is going to pull it back down. Chemical energy. Chemical potential energy is stored in the connections that hold particles together. A car uses chemical energy when it burns gasoline. The food you eat has chemical energy, and when your body digests that food, chemical energy turns into other forms of energy that you use to move, talk, and live. Okay, so that's why they say that you got to eat something so that you have energy. It's that chemical energy that food has in it. Does that mean that your food is full of chemicals that you are eating and that you have chemical energy when you do stuff? No, that's not what that means. All right, elastic. A stretched rubber band or a compressed spring have potential energy. This is called elastic potential energy. The more a rubber band is stretched, and we've seen this, right? The more potential energy it has. If you bounce, kick, or hit a ball, the ball also has this kind of potential energy. So like whenever the harder you kick a ball, the further it's going to go, right? The ball's material and the air inside it compresses like a spring. Elastic potential energy can change into sound energy and kinetic energy. All right, so all that means is that whenever we are pulling a hairband back, so look, I'll even show you mine. So this has elastic potential energy. If I pull it like this, oh, that didn't go very far. But what if I pull it all the way back like this? I don't even know where it went. See? So that is elastic potential energy. The more something weighs, so the more mass it's got, the more kinetic energy you put behind something, the more elastic potential energy it is going to have. All right, guys, make sure that if you need help with your assignments, you come back to these videos, this video from today and the one from Monday as well, to help you. You can also access this ebook on one of your assignments that I have put on your Pearson Realize.